Hey everyone, it's Lori McGuire. I hope you can see me this time. I was in a really bad cell zone area and I did not even realize it. I hope this time I won't be cut off within the first second. You'll see the beautiful Pacific coastline in back of me. Well, hi Mike, how are you doing? You see my great gloves. These are ones for where I could touch this touch screen on my Apple phone, but it's good to see you. And anyway, my topic today, which I was cut off, and some people, by the way, I've gotten some text messages and I've gotten some phone calls saying, are you okay? Because my title on my In Hi Stuart, Hi Mark, was, I think it was on my last one, was when life is overwhelming or when it's too tough to go on or something. No, I'm doing great. So I just want to let you know I'm doing really awesome. But you know what? During the holidays, it could be a really challenging time. And I just know from past experience, personally, and also from, just friends who, single friends, people who have lost, oh gosh, so many of my clients lately have lost their loved ones. And oh, Juno's walking away, so I just had to grab her. Lost their loved ones just recently, and this may be their first Christmas without their loved ones, and it's just so hard. And my heart goes out to you. So I'm just telling you from my heart some personal experiences. There was a time when I thought I was on top of the world, and I've always been a workaholic. Those who know me, my family, very well. And I got into real estate when I was 21 years old, and I've been a workaholic ever since. And it seemed that, I've always been very much into goals, and I always thought that if I was in the mindset where I visualized it, and I put it down on paper, and I worked really hard, that I would achieve it, and that I would never slide backwards. So I kept getting better and better and better and better. And I kept buying bigger and bigger and bigger because I think my mindset was, if I buy bigger, buy more, I'll make that much more money to afford it. Yeah, because there's a lot of speakers out there that tell you that as well, which, I can't believe, but then I've also seen the other way of how it goes personally. So back when the real estate market, in 2004, oh my gosh, doing so great, making tons of money, and I bought a 6,700 square foot estate just for me and my two dogs. Just a little simple estate. My master bedroom, 1,800 square feet. Did I need the big house? No, not at all. Did I love the house? Yes. I think it was more of showing myself that I could accomplish it. And I also wanted business in the neighborhood, and it got me into the neighborhood to get business. And I really did love the house. But, and I thought, oh, by buying this house, I'm going to start entertaining more. My life is going to be more fulfilled. It's going to bring me so much happiness. All these things went through my mind when I was signing the contracts. So, and it was a great house, but I worked more and I worked more and I worked more, and I only used the master bedroom in that home. And I went downstairs to the kitchen to bring things up to microwave in the kitchenette in the master bedroom upstairs. So I only used the kitchen when I had caterers there. I threw great parties, but did I have time to enjoy the parties? No, because I was stressed out trying to make sure everyone else was having a good time. So, and I always had people at my house. I mean, I had house cleaners at my house. I had handymen at my house. There was always something that had to be repaired. So, and then I had to fill up the closets in that house. I had to furnish the house, and I had to have a great wardrobe. It was ongoing. Was it really my personality in the long run? No. My personality is more of I'm kind of a loner when I'm not working. And that's not bad, because I realize that I get my energy by going inward. Other people get their energy by being outward. I'm great when it comes to real estate because that's when I'm outward and I really light up. But I get my energy, I refuel when I'm out hiking, and I do not mind being by myself. I actually love it. I mean, I like being with people too, but I can find a million things to do, and I'm fine. So anyway, but to get to the whole depression thing. So when the market started going down, I didn't really feel when the market went down. I mean, everything plummeted. I mean, we know that across the country. And by the way, I'm wearing gloves because it's 49 degrees out in beautiful South Orange County, and that's Laguna Beach behind me. But it's still wonderful because I did run on the trail, so I'm still a little bit warm, so that's good. But anyway, so, okay, the real estate market crashed. I did not really feel it until 2010 was probably when I started feeling it, even though it started crashing in 2007. But I made the mistake. Yeah, I bought my house for 2.4 million. It went up to like 4.2 million. I was like, yahoo, gone up in value so much. I'm such a smart businesswoman. Then I took money out, refinanced. I bought 2 more properties. No, I think I bought 3 properties. And I bought a beach house in Laguna Beach, and I was renting it out for like crazy amount of money. It was like $20,000 a week because it was 2 doors to the sand. I bought another property and another property. So everything was going great. And then everything started going, phew. And I had this big team, and I think my overhead was like $80,000 a month. It was crazy. And then my income, dropped by 60%. So I just knew I had to do things really quickly, and I didn't want anything to affect my business. But I really felt defeated when I had to lay off people, and then I knew I had to sell my house, and I did what everyone else did. They tried to get modifications, and I got approved, and then I was disapproved, and then I was really behind in payments. So just to make a long story short, everything started crumbling down on me. And in the meantime, a lot of my good friends were passing away. I had to put down not just 1 dog, 2 dogs. It was really, really sad during that time. And then a couple of my friends killed themselves. It just on and on and on and on. So to make a long story short, I was super depressed. I have never been that depressed in my life. I just remember not wanting to get out of bed. I didn't recognize the person I became. And I'm just saying this because right now, just one of you, even one of you could be feeling this way. You might be so depressed, and it might be hard for you to get out of bed. And I had never felt these thoughts before, but I just remember always feeling like I wanted to go in a cave and never come out, or just come out like a year later and everything would be okay. I just, it's not like I wanted to kill myself. I don't want to say that, but I wanted to fall asleep for a long time. And that's dangerous. That's really dangerous thinking. So, and in my faith, which is Catholicism, well, at least that's how I was raised. But I go to different churches like Saddleback. I was told that you go straight to hell if you commit suicide. And the suicide thing did cross my mind during that time. And I'm really kind of embarrassed to say it, but I'm telling you this because it may be crossing other people's minds. But I thought it would be the most selfish thing to do to my family. And because I couldn't, and I didn't want to leave a legacy like that. But it was so hard to see one day extra, like what was the next day going to be like, because every day was a nightmare for me, every single day. And then I was trying to keep a smile on my face while I was running my business, and I had a team to look out for. And when you're going through financial stress, it's so crushing, and you can hardly breathe. That's how I could, that's just what I can tell you, how I was feeling at least. So anyway, I was going through a lot of personal struggles because my identity was my success. And I thought, who am I if I'm not successful anymore? And, hi everyone. And then I had to get into a lot of reading. I read A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. That was really good. And it was a very cerebral book, let me tell you. Or it is, not just was. But you have to read it over and over and over. But that book helped me so much get into the core of who I am. And it's not about possessions. It's not about your ego. Once you start getting your ego, then, that's like, it's almost like the devil talking to you. If you believe in the devil, that is. But I even got to a point where I got dependent upon, I don't want to say dependent, but I was taking Xanax to fall asleep. And then I would literally have to take a Xanax to get out of bed because I was so nervous. I would get up and I'd be, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. And I'm just telling you this because I can see struggles with people, and this is the first time in my life. I've had isms throughout my life. I had an eating disorder when I was younger. I had it for over 20 years because I was trying to be a perfectionist. And you may have children that are going through that. Then I went from that to another challenge. And then, people can say that those prescription drugs aren't an issue, but they can be if you anything you become dependent upon. I mean, even if it's on a daily basis, I just really feel should be out of your life. I don't want to be dependent upon one thing. I mean, do I have an occasional glass of wine? Absolutely. Do I think wine is a problem? No, not if you could control it. But do I I know that I can't keep Oreos in my house because I know I'll eat them. Have I had a problem with an eating disorder for a long time? No, it's been over 13 years. But I know to get over the eating disorder, I had to develop a healthy habit in order to get over the eating disorder. And then I got into, I got into Xanax then after that because I was so stressed out with the financial stuff. But then that caused me a problem because one night I drank a little too much and I had Xanax, and then that got me into the hospital. So I'm just being completely honest with you guys. But it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I realized I had a problem, not an addiction problem. I mean, the Xanax I had like one a day, 2 a day. But when you combine it with alcohol, that's a real problem because I was depressed. And that's a lethal combination. So I went to a place called Sierra Tucson in Arizona, and it was a blessing. It was a complete blessing. I went there for 30 days, and I realized I had a post-traumatic stress disorder, and I literally had to get away. And this was back in 2000, I think it was 2012 I was there, and I really got to know who I am, and that I'm not the ego, I'm not me, the persona. Even when I was going into Sierra Tucson, I was trying to say, but I'm this, I'm that. I was, I kept bringing up my big house, that, and this and that. And they kept saying, no, that's not you. That's not you. And it's so true. I mean, and we live in a society that we think we're supposed to be all this around us. We're supposed to, where success is defined by what we own and what we live in and everything. And then now my success is, it's so weird. My life has changed so dramatically, and I've never been happier. And I don't live in a big house. I live in a small place, but I have the most incredible view, and I'm adjacent to a hiking trail. And I thought I would only live in a small place for like a year until I found another home to move to. But now I'm so passionate about my work. I love my work, but I buy all these investment properties. So I just signed a purchase agreement for 22 apartments. Well, it's, I call them apartments or multifamily units. So 22 units, 22 doors. And I closed escrow on 16 doors last Friday. I'm closing on 4 this Monday, or Tuesday. And then closing on 6 next month. So my goal is to have 200 doors within the next 4 years. And so, I'm passionate about something else, but it's not about bigger, better, whatever. It's about financial, like having cash flow